welcome to Your Choice 2022 General Election coverage on HOMTV. I'm Sydney Kenzer. Today we're here for a candidate interview with Brooke Locke, a Democrat who is running for Ingham County Commission. If you live in the 6th, 7th, or 22nd District of Meridian Township, Brooke is seeking to represent you as the 15th District in Ingham. Thanks so much for joining us today. At this time, we'd like to give you the opportunity to briefly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, I'm Brooke Locke. I'm, as they said, running for District 15. And it's a great opportunity under the new redistricting to add some territory to the district as we've just reshaped the district. Gives us a little bit more diversity. And as we go through this interview, I'm sure we'll learn more about myself and I'll be able to explain deeper. But you know, I've worked in the service of our community for many years. I served as the zoning board chair in Williamston. I've been Chamber of Commerce president twice in the Williamston area chamber. As well, I've worked in many local restaurants and establishments, and so I'm always around when you need me. So,
thank you. Each Ingham County Commission candidate will be asked a standard list of questions. For question 1, please explain how your educational and professional background make you an ideal candidate for Ingham County Commission.
Well, my education background really is multitude of things. So I have been fortunate enough to do a field study program with Michigan State University in political science. And so really what I did was able to work in the field, learning politics from the ground up. So my very first campaign right out the door was with Debbie Stabenow when she ran for governor. And so I walked in as a young student and became deputy press secretary of a campaign, and overwhelmed, starstruck, and scared to death. We just echoed in, and it was amazing education because it taught me the system at the front of everything. And so, you know, we were right there working. But in addition to that, I have my culinary arts degree. I have had my cosmetology degree. I have my real estate license here in the state of Michigan. I've attended Great Lakes Christian College. One of the things I always do is I seek to have a broad education. I want to know and learn. And so I never stop learning because I think it's important. But one of the things that my work career has really taught me is that my heart is a heart of service. When I'm doing something, I am the happiest when I am helping somebody succeed, when I'm helping to develop somebody, and when I'm helping them achieve their dreams, which is why real estate becomes a really huge factor, but why I want to serve this district.
Please tell us more about the communities you represent and how you plan to meet or expand upon their needs.
So we have really amazing communities. So you have, you know, the portion of Meridian Township that has now been added to our district. You have Williamston, Weberville, Williamstown Township, Leroy, and Locke Township. So that's the expanse area. We have the great farmland, the agricultural side of it. We have the unique downtown of Williamston that brings in a cultural diversity. We have, you know, the Sun Theater that's been there forever. And, you know, where can you get $5 movie, right? So you get that, but then you also have the cultural side of it, which is you have the Williamston Theater. And they're bringing in these amazing productions that bring people from outside of the region into the region, bringing dollars to our community. And it's something that's super exciting. They're on their 16th season. And to be there from day one when they first opened that theater, to sit in that very first production, and then to see the way it's grown and developed. And then you have, you know, Weberville with, you know, it's, again, another small little town. We just have this unique area that we can thrive when we bring it all together. So you take the richness of the rural and then you add it to a little bit of, you know, the more city-like in Meridian Township, and you bring it all together and it becomes a very expansive, very exciting district.
What do you consider to be the top 2 challenges facing Ingham County today and in the future?
Well, that's an ever-changing thing, but I think the first one, and the Ingham County Commission has already raised it as a red flag, and they've put an initiative to it, is climate change. We have to stay very apparent and forthright with climate change. We can't deny it, and we can't take our eye off of it. It affects so much. It affects our farming. It affects the crops that we bring to the tables and, you know, for our families. And so we really need to make sure, you know, that we're watching that. I mean, from multiple areas. The drain commissioner has to watch that because, you know, is the rain increasing and are we putting more water into our infrastructure? And so it's a broader thing than just, is the weather changing? It's a deep, complex flexibility. And then I think that the other major thing that we really have to stay focused on is COVID relief. We had to shut down because it was a necessity to make sure that people were safe as we were learning about the illness that nobody was prepared for, that nobody understood. We had to do, and so our businesses are still trying to recover and recoup. And so we have to do the things that we can do from a county level, whether it's marketing to help promote those cities or to promote those businesses, or whether it's just doing things that drive people to our communities so that they can flourish and get back on their feet.
How would you prioritize the use of county funds, especially in the current economic climate and uncertainties surrounding COVID?
Well, the county funds are always, so we're going to go right back to the COVID area. So the first thing is we want to make sure that we have the funds for our health department to continue to stay on top of things, making sure that people are able to get the care that they need, making sure that vaccines are readily available for those who choose to use them, make sure that we have testing environments that we have and that they're funded appropriately so that people aren't taking that burden. And so that's one of the things. Our health department is huge and vast in our county, and so we need to make sure that we're funding that appropriately so that every level of care is taken care of. So that's the first thing. But the other thing is we have to invest in infrastructure. We have to make sure that, like I said before, with the climate change and this and that we are making sure we have the investment to the infrastructure that we need, and making sure that our roads are passable and those kind of things. So those would be the areas. You always want to stay accountable with your budget, and you want to make sure you're operating within the means of what you have.
With that in mind, do you have any other comments on the condition of the county roads and infrastructure?
Well, certainly in our district alone, we have a bridge that needs to be replaced out in Dietz Road. And unfortunately, because of COVID funding being restricted and things, that bridge still is not passable. And so the residents out there definitely would love to see that. And so as we recover, those funds are going to come back in, but there's other road, infrastructure projects that will come first because we're rural, and so that's a rural, area, and so that's not going to be the first priority. Willoughby Road most likely would be the number one priority because it's really definitely needs to be rebuilt and redone, and then we need to focus on that. Well, so we have to look at other ways for our road infrastructure, especially in areas in the rural area. And so because that's the district in which I serve, of course, I'm going to be extremely passionate about that. But for me, it's not about a discussion about waiting until I'm elected. It's a discussion that's already taking place. I've already been talking to leadership outside of the county to say, hey, state funds, you got some extra, how about you kick some over, to help with a specific project within the roads for Ingham County, earmark it for Dietz Road or earmark it for Willoughby Road. And so I think that you don't have to be elected in a position to be a leader and to make change. And so I'm already having those discussions. I've already talked to my partners that are on the Ingham County Commission that have been out with me door knocking, and we've been having those conversations. And I've been saying, hey guys, this road, what are we doing? This is putting our residents in a bind. Our farmers can't pass that bridge, so they got to take it out and take the long way, which is costing them more dollars and then putting their equipment at risk. And so these are things that because I grew up on a farm, obviously I know what it's like when somebody's trying to whip around your tractor. It's not good. You can only get it off as far as you can for the safety of the machinery. And then certainly you don't want to, create an issue for anybody.
Ingham County recently released a broadband survey to residents as part of their broadband initiative. Can you touch on what you would do to help bring broadband to Ingham County? So
that broadband survey, I actually have the cards. And so I have been going everywhere I go to give this to about everybody that can see me to ask them to do the survey. Because the more people that actually take part in the survey, it shows the need we have. Being, again, a person that's in the rural area and the way we've changed through COVID, knowing that there's more work at home opportunities. If we don't increase our broadband initiative and make sure that the rural areas get the broadband, we can't compete in rural areas like they can in the city. And so for me, I really want to make sure that we are doing everything and we're getting the earmarked funding from the state, which is why this survey is so important, because the more we show the need, the more dollars we're going to get for Ingham County. And then when I'm elected, I'm going to be right there saying, let's get it out here to this rural area that needs to have that infrastructure. Because right now, anybody who's out there will tell you our internet is not even sufficient, let alone broadband.
Please explain your thoughts on the business landscape and future development of Ingham County.
So this one is diverse for me because we have so many things changing, and Ingham County, and in our district in Ingham County, we have some great industrial parks. And neither industrial park, both in Williamston and or Weberville, are to capacity and have hit their, their flourishing point. And so as we're looking at the need for plants or things, I'm looking at, let's get this marketed, let's get this area noticeable so that we can draw some plants to our community, create jobs and infrastructure for our communities and help with our tax base, but also make sure that we're a part of the future for the state of Michigan and for our county.
Please comment then on how also you believe Ingham County could approach new or continued diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts.
Well, this one's personal for me. There's no secret that I'm the openly gay candidate, and so equality is super huge in the way I look at things. Now, I don't walk around and be like, vote for me because I'm gay, or any of those kind of things, but what I do is I want everybody to understand that we all need to be equal. We all need to have a seat at the table. From day one when we started this campaign, I said, it doesn't matter if you agree with me or if you don't. We all need to come together. We need to find that area that we agree on, and we need to move forward. And sometimes that's going to be inch by inch. Sometimes we can go a little bit more than that. But the thing we cannot do is get so stuck in, I don't believe that, or I don't feel that same way, or I just don't agree with you, so I can't talk with you. Because the reality is, when we come together and we use that equality, and men and women and gay and straight and black and white, it doesn't matter what it is. When we come together, we're stronger together. And when we sit and idle and we pick and we choose who we support and who we care about and who we accept, we're just hurting our country and we're hurting our areas.
Finally, how do you believe you would be a good representative for your district if elected to the Ingham County Board of Commissioners?
Well, I come from service. So for me, everything is coming from contribution. So I'm not going to sit there and raise the flag and, point out everything that I could do for the community. What I'm going to say is my record speaks for itself. Right now, I'm a full-time real estate agent, but I'm working part-time at Tavern 109 in Williamston to help them stay open because we can't get enough staff. And so in order for that to be the vital part, we bring people from Brighton and Novi and all these areas, which is bringing revenue to not only Tavern, but also to the other businesses in town. I've served as president of the chamber twice. I'm on the chamber currently. We've put on the electric light parade. Generally, when there's something going on in our community, I'm right there. And whether I'm elected or whether I'm not elected, that's not going to change, because I believe that when we dig in, we contribute to what we're doing, we make it better for the future.
That's the end of our questions. We have a few minutes remaining, and if you'd like to deliver another closing statement, you're more than welcome to do so.
I will take that moment. And the thing is, for me, one of the reasons I got into this race is because it's important for me to, again, for everyone to have a seat at the table. I want to support and uplift our school systems, both in Williamston and Weberville and the surrounding areas that we have, as well as support the people to be who they are and to be celebrated. I want to support our school boards and their decision makings. I don't want to attack them. I don't want to question them. They're elected into those positions by the people to do the job that they have in front of them. And I believe strongly in supporting that job and knowing that it's not difficult. We have to look at it from an expansive direction. We have to look at it at a broad space. It's not just one view when you're an elected official, whether it's a school board member or a county commissioner or whatever elected office. You have to look at it from every aspect. And one of the great things about our county and about our country and about just the areas that we serve is that we're extremely diverse. And so there's a lot of different religions, a lot of different beliefs, and a lot of different thoughts. And so when you're making decisions, you're not making them singular. You're making them for the greater good of everyone.
Thank you so much again for joining us today. And thank you for watching this Your Choice 2022 general election coverage here on Home TV, this candidate interview with Brooke, Locke. I'm Sydney Kenzer, inviting you to watch election night coverage here on Home TV on Tuesday, November 8th.